Great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing my top 5 books of 2019 so far. I will first start though with saying I've noticed that I've lost quite a few of my subs, and I feel really bad because I feel like I'm letting you guys down by having live videos versus these filmed pre-recorded videos. I don't feel like you guys are enjoying them as much, and I promise you I'm going to get back to my regularly scheduled and edited videos at some point soon. I'm just waiting for my computer to get back and up and running, and for, you know, some things to kind of move around, and for me to finish my antibiotics so that I'm not hurting as much. I did have the procedure done, and they found some internal issues with my intestines. So that kind of explains what's been going on. There's definitely some issues and inflammation. So I'm on antibiotics to fix that, which is taking, I don't know, like a week or so. Well, I've been on it for about a week or so, and it's been taking its toll on me. But, you know, everything's getting better little by little. But right now, the biggest issue I have is that my computer's not hooked up, which is fine. I'm not too worried about it. I can still do live videos, and I probably will start getting back to Tuesdays and Thursdays just doing live videos first, and then I'll go back to videos that I've recorded. I have 2 videos that are pre-recorded that I haven't edited yet, so I've got stuff to do. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So please bear with me. I know a lot of you have been unsubscribing, and I'm sorry that you guys feel that you're not getting what you want out of this channel. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see before you unsubscribe, and what you'd like to, you know, have different. And if there's something that I'm doing wrong, let me know. So let's dive in. These are the top 5 books of 2019 so far. I was told that it wasn't too late to do this video, so I am diving in. So these are in order of least to most enjoyed, but all of them are a top 5, so they're all extremely enjoyed. I think almost all of them are 5 stars. I think all of them might be 5 stars. So let's see how this goes. So the first one I thought was going to be my favorite book of the year, and I was actually quite perturbed. This is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I adored this book, and I did not like Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. It didn't really strike anything with me, and it felt kind of pretentious. But in general, this book has been exactly what I wanted in a hookup style relationship, and what that looks like, and the intimacies of that, the long-term friends with benefits kind of feel. Very millennial, very of the times, and very current. I really found the relationship believable and accurate. I found it intriguing and insightful. I found the book really deeper than it was expected to be, and much more of heart than I was expecting. I was expecting so much less of a of a of a what's the word I'm looking for? Of a strike to my feels, if that makes sense. Like, I was expecting more of a shallowness, and this really wasn't that. So this book is absolutely fabulous. I really loved it, and I would definitely recommend it. I gave it 5 stars, and I thought it was going to be my favorite book of the year, but then other books came along. So let's see what those are. The next book is Queenie. This is by Candace Carty Williams. Now, apparently 2 of my books are Book of the Month Club picks. Go figure. But, so this is Queenie, and I know I said that, but this is Queenie, and this is, some people have compared this to Bridget Jones's Diary. Now, I found Bridget Jones' Diary funny, heartfelt, very intriguing, and very like lighthearted. I didn't find it very, I found there to be depth and some ideas that were much more intriguing and, of purpose, but this book is much more of that deeper dive into the single woman's experience of the current age. I think it's a much more of the times book. This follows Queenie, who has just gotten out of a long-term committed relationship, and instead of responding in a healthy and productive manner, she kind of self-destructs and goes down a rabbit hole of bad relationships and really inappropriate interactions. She does a lot of one night stands, a lot of very dangerous sexual encounters, and her depression gets really bad, her anxiety gets really bad. You follow her as she goes through this, and it's really breathtaking. I really loved it. I would highly recommend it. It is not Bridget Jones' Diary. It's funny in some aspects, but it's not that lighthearted, easygoing trill kind of thing. It's very, very poignant, and I just adored it, and I definitely think that it's great. I was super stoked to read this, and I really loved it. I will read anything that this author comes out with. Then this is a new read for me. This I read last night. This is Water Shall Refuse Them. This is by Lucy McKnight Hardy. Now, I picked this up because Mercedes picked it up, and she compared it to Shirley Jackson. I read all of Shirley Jackson's work last year, and I fell in love. She is one of my top 5 authors of all time. Top 3. She is one of my top 3 favorite authors of all time. I love her books. I think she's fabulous, and everything she does I am obsessed with. I'm gonna reread some of her works this year, probably in October, but it's a must for me. So this one is about a coming-of-age story of a young girl who is in a situation where things are just, it's very off. There's a lot of strangeness to it. It's got a darker tone to it, and there's some witchcraft. I found it very, very wonderful, and I really appreciated it. It lives up to the sort of parallel of like a Shirley Jackson-esque story. It's got that sort of depth to it, and that darkness and that deepness to it. It's got that feeling of unease to it. It's really well done and really excellent. I went into it knowing only witchcraft and Shirley Jackson-esque, and I was not disappointed. And I think that's what I'm going to leave it with for you guys as well, because I think that's really all you need to know. I will admit I ordered this from the UK. It was a little bit expensive. I did order it from Foyles. I myself like Foyles and Waterstones. I go between the two of them depending on what I want. Okay, depending on who has a signed copy of what I want. If Waterstones doesn't have a signed copy I want, I go with Foyles, but generally I go with Foyles. So I did pick this up that way. It's a little more expensive and definitely something that I wasn't expecting, but because I ordered it and spent more on it, I figured I should read it ASAP, and I'm really glad I picked it up before it came to America, because I'm not sure if it will come to America. It's not entirely American friendly, if that makes sense. It's not the same sort of thriller style that a lot of Americans love. It's got a more subtle darkness to it that just is so much different than the American style of thriller. I think so many of my viewers will love this book, and I think that so many other Americans will love this book. But if we're looking at the public, basic, New York bestsellers books, this is not it. It's a much more niche feel. I adored it. Then we have my Dark Vanessa, which you've heard me talk about. I still need to do a review of this, but it's not coming out till 2020, so I probably will do a review closer to the end of the date. But at this point, it's going to be in my top books of 2019, and it's going to be a favorite, and it's just all sorts of things, and I absolutely enjoyed it, and I think it's fabulous. So, this is the story of Vanessa, who in 2017 is watching the news and sees that her English teacher from high school is accused of having a sexual relationship, non-consensual, with a teenage student. Now, she herself had a consensual relationship with this teacher. However, I myself am of the feeling that if a child is having a relationship sexually with an adult, it's never fully consensual in terms of what they know to be feelings and ideas. Like, there's just a sort of, there's an element to the relationship where there's a lack of power dynamic, or there's a power dynamic there that's really, really strong, and the adult just has so much more power over the relationship and can kind of manipulate the younger person into such more groomed ideals. I lost a viewer. I'm not really of that feeling that I find those relationships to be safe and happy. In this situation, it is really clear that she was in a manipulative relationship and things were just not right. But when you start the story, you're going through her telling you the story and explaining to you why the relationship was good and consensual and why their relationship was healthy. And she's kind of coming to terms with her own unhappiness with what the relationship looks like. It's dark. It really is dark, and it's twisted, and it has a lot of feels to it. I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I would highly recommend it, and I would say it's worth a pre-order for 2020. It's going to be one of the top books released in 2020. It's very of the time. It's very part of the Me Too movement kind of feel. I definitely would tell you that this is worth picking up. But if you have trouble reading sexual exploitation of children, do not read this. It is too much, and it is definitely a hard relationship to read. I would say for a lot of people, trigger warnings on this one. It's hard. It's hard. And then my favorite book of the year so far, which is going to be difficult to knock off the spot, which has been compared to a mix between The Bell Jar and My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which was my favorite book of 2017 and 2018. This is Rabbits for Food. This is by Bunny Christenbaum. There we go. I adore this. I did a whole review of this book. I really loved it. I do not know how to add cards to live videos. I might be able to do that. Let me see if I can figure that out. If I can, I'm going to link my review to this. This book is fabulous. I loved it. Now, this book is the story of a girl named Bunny, and Bunny is in a relationship with a man. She's super depressed. She's super low. She's not really working. She's lost a lot of her drive and her ideas of functioning in the world and participating in the world, and she's just kind of become a numb shell of herself. And she is in a dark place. Her anxiety has taken over, her depression has taken over, and she is slowly losing her mind. Now, this story also flips back and forth between her in a hospital ward, mental health facility, whatever you want to call it. It's her in that vicinity and the ward, and also her outside of it. It's brilliant. I love it. It's absolutely worth a read. If you haven't picked this one up, I really recommend it. If you like my type of books, if you're on the same book style as me, you will love this. I would honestly say if you haven't read The Bell Jar first, you're not going to see a lot of it's not references, but there's nods to The Bell Jar in terms of like just feelings and execution and style. It's very much in in that same vein of Sylvia Plath, who is my number one favorite author. So there's Sylvia Plath, Charlotte Bronte, Shirley Jackson. Those are my three favorite authors. Mind you, none of them are in the current day, which makes me really sad because I'm never going to get another book from them. Really breaks my heart, but that's okay. This is, I just love this book. I really do. It's excellent. If you like this book, the Bell Jar and My Year of Rest and Relaxation are a great place to go next. I would recommend all three. I think that they're all excellent books. This has made it into my favorite books of all time, along with the other two that I've mentioned. I just adore this. I absolutely adore this, and I reread it twice when I got it. So I read it once, I was like, nothing else is going to live up to the hype, so I read it again, and then about a week later I read it again. I really shouldn't have read it 3 times. It was a dark, twisted, very hard to read book, and I should not have delved into it 3 times and kept myself in that brain. But that's fine. I do that all the time. I have a dark sense of humor. I also have a dark sense of reading. I read dark things. But that's okay. So I definitely would recommend this book. I think it's excellent. Those are the 5 books that I have loved and read throughout 2019 so far. I have read, I believe, 82 books, maybe less than that. I'm in there. I'm almost at 100. My goal is to at least have read 100 by the time the end of the year comes. I put my goal at 52, but my goal is 100. So we'll see how I get there, and whether that'll be about 200% of my challenge to myself. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I've been terrible at reading lately, but I've been doing okay. I'm getting back on the bandwagon. The reading rush is going fine. I'm not really reading as much as I expected to. I had my procedure on Monday, and then yesterday I was really tired from the procedure prep because I was up all night dealing with stomach issues from the prep, and so I slept all yesterday. So it's been kind of a hectic thing. So today I figured I'd do a video, and I really haven't had time to read either for that. But I am very excited to be talking to you guys. I'm so happy I got to come on here and speak to you. Again, if there's anything you'd like to see change on my channel, let me know. I know a lot of you voiced that you didn't want change in my channel, but I have seen a decrease in subscribers, so I want to know what I can do to keep you guys happy and make sure you guys are getting what you need. Let me know if you are a Patreon, because your opinion is super valid. All of your opinions are super valid. Subscribers, I love you. I love you all so much. If you want to join my Patreon account, I can link it in the doobly-doo, I believe. But, you know, I'm not asking you guys to do it. It would be really, really appreciated, but, you know, it's hard. I get it. I myself really can't afford to do Patreon with other people. I just can't afford it. It doesn't make sense to me. So I get it if you can't do it, but the people who do it, you guys are so amazing, and you guys support me so much, and basically you buy me at least 2 more books every single month, which is excellent. So thank you again to my Patreons. Thank you so much to my subscribers who are sticking around. I love you all. Let me know what I can do to make this channel better for you. I will talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.